What is going on? This is your boy Jordan JC, and I am back again on the ATS Report. And breaking news out of the city of Chicago, the Athletic reports on Twitter that the White Sox have relieved Executive Vice President Ken Williams and Senior Vice President and General Manager Rick Hahn of their responsibilities effective immediately. Chicago will now begin a search for a single decision maker for the Southside baseball team. Um, Initial thoughts on this, I'm not surprised. This is something that I saw coming with the way that the team was kind of managed and some of the decisions that they made over the past couple of years. The White Sox, in my opinion, have completely underachieved based off of the talent that they've had on their roster. And just going down the list, let's just be honest. Ever since, in my opinion, since they went and got Tony La Russa to coach this team. When the window was just opening up for the White Sox team, I feel like it kind of crashed and burned. The idea of their window just being open and having an opportunity to truly be a World Series contender for years on end, from I would say for the next 10 years since 2020, kind of just went out the window fast. And here's just some of the talent that's been on the team since Yasmani Grandal, one of the better pitch frame catchers. Jose Abreu, who's been around for a long time, Mr. Consistent. You have Yohan Moncada, who was taken from the Boston Red Sox, very, very up and coming player. When they got him, he was supposed to be an extremely talented player as well. You have Tim Anderson, who's still on the team. He's been up and down, but he's had some good seasons as well. Eloy Jimenez has had issues with injury, has outfield issues, but he's been talented as well. I believe he was traded from the Cubs in the Aroldis Chapman trade. I could be wrong, but I know that initially he was in the Cubs farm system as well. And so him, Luis Robert, who's still on the team. You had Jake Berger, who was traded away. You had Benintendi, who's still here. You have Lucas Giolito, who's now gone. And a slew of other people, Lance Lynn. So you have all of these talented names on this roster that were built to just be a championship contender for, like I said, the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years, their window has been expected to continue to open up more and more. And because of the way the team has been managed, uh, that hasn't been realized. And so the question is now, well, who is to blame? Because if Ken Williams and Rick Hahn are kind of like the scapegoats, in my opinion, you got to look and go all the way up to the top. I've been saying it for years. And Jerry Reinsdorf, of course, is not going to fire himself. He's the owner of the Bulls and the White Sox. But the way that he has managed these teams, in particular, we're talking about the White Sox now, has just been kind of poor. We know the record, we know the track record of Jerry Reinsdorf and what he does when it comes to money and committing to players and paying players when the time has come for him to divvy up that money. He's a little bit on the cheaper side, right? And so even though they've had extremely good talent over the years, the team itself hasn't really gone out and bought just great talent. If it's even in free agency, they don't really pay a lot of money towards making a team that much more superior to even rival the likes of even the North Side team, the Cubs, or the Los Angeles Dodgers, or the Red Sox, or the Yankees, teams that really truly shell out money so that they can get the best out of their teams. They can have the most success in their window of opportunity to win championships. But regardless of that, they had a squad. And I think the first bad decision over the past 4 years was bringing back Tony La Russa. Now, I got nothing against La Russa's track record as a coach. When he was on the Cardinals, who was another rival of my Cubs, I love the Cubs over the Sox, but that's neither here nor there. No bias shown. Um, I believe that that was a bad decision to bring him back, whether or not there was kind of like a I owe you type of thing where they let him go back in the day because of some issues he had with Hawk Harrelson. And so he felt like he was indebted to Tony La Russa to bring him back and to coach the team. It just didn't feel right. And it definitely didn't seem like a choice that was backed really fully by Rick Hahn, who's supposed to be the general manager of the team. So when you have the owner trying to step in and do other people's jobs, that's going to affect the success of the team. That's going to affect the trajectory of what they should be versus what they are. So I think that that has gone a long way in their downfall. So just to kind of go over the last 3 years, in 2021, I believe that was the first year LaRussa was here. They had a 93 and 69 record. Pretty good, right? Very good. They got all the way to the ALDS, and then that was it. They got ousted there. 2022, better, not so good of a record at 81 and 81, 500. And then this year, 49 and 76 with Pedro Grafal. So you can kind of see that this team has kind of just slowly but surely just kind of dissolved into just mediocrity. They're not what they're supposed to be, whether it be because of injury or whether it be just underperformance by their pitchers or some of the players on the team just not living up to the standard that they were supposed to be or to the talent level that they were supposed to show. It just does not seem like this team just could put it all together within this window. And obviously, White Sox fans are extremely disappointed because now, even at the trade deadline, they've started to let go of some of their key players. As I mentioned, Jose Abreu, who's been an integral part of the White Sox for years, he was already going. Then you had Giolito, who was traded to the Angels. You had Jake Berger, who was an up and coming player. You had Kendall Graveman. Joe Kelly was supposed to come in here and be an excellent relief pitcher. That didn't happen. And of course, Lance Lynn, who was very serviceable, very good when he was here, he got let go. And he's even thriving even more now by the numbers on his new team. So it just seems like this whole experiment, this project has just crashed and burned. And it's unfortunate because now it's going to take them a little bit more time to start this over. Now, with Rick Hahn and Ken Williams gone, if Jerry Reinsdorf wants to get this thing down to just one this single decision maker over the whole team, who is that going to be? Who are even the candidates? We don't know. I have no names. I have no idea what the direction Jerry's going to go in. Um, my dream I would say would be for him to actually put out some money so that he can get somebody, if he wants to replace these guys, that has a knowledge of how to put a team together and then actually allow him to do his job so he can bring in talent that will mesh together and make this team successful for more than 1 year or 2 years and that it's sustained success and that you stay out of the way. That has been the problem, in my opinion, is Jerry always puts his hand in things because, okay, well, wait, I think this should happen, or this is how I want to see the team. No, let your people do their job. Let them, don't micromanage. Let them do their job and fulfill their role. And so that's how I feel. I want to see how you guys feel about this. This is unfortunate, obviously, for the White Sox team. But as they say, so is life. I'm pretty sure Rick Hahn and Ken Williams will get back on their feet. They will probably be very good candidates for other jobs in the league or whatever other roles and responsibilities they will have in the near future. I believe they will be successful in on whatever new team they get on. So props to them. I believe Rick Hahn is very underrated as a GM, and that when he gets a chance to actually control all matters of his role, I think he will be successful. And so, looking forward to seeing how that pans out for him. But again, what do you guys think? Do you think that this was actually time now for them to part ways? Was this a something that was just inevitable in your eyes? Did you see this coming just like I did, or do you think that they should have kept these guys on and that they should have continued to try and make this thing work? We don't know, but again, leave your comments in the section below, and I will see you all in the next ATS report.